All right, ladies. So as we kind of heard today, we got some exciting news about samples. If you did not receive samples, I want you to know it's okay. All right. You can still sample and still use this news and excitement that what our CEOs have done, right? It does not leave anybody out. So I just want to start that off with that. So I hope you have paper, whatnot, because I am going to be, I don't want to say throwing things at you, and I don't want to say tough love or anything, but I'm going to share a lot of the things that I had to realize within my business in order to keep moving things forward. So if you guys are not utilizing this workbook, you are missing out. So what is this workbook? If you go into Relentless Ambition, because that's usually the team page that I really have like resources in, just because there's so much in there. Especially within the guide section. So these are all in the guide section. So this is what I use to stay organized in my business. Now, hear me out. You can take this and make it into what is doable for you. Okay. I don't want you to get overwhelmed with having to check off all the boxes and all these things, but I will tell you there are crucial things that you need to be doing every single day to keep moving that needle forward in your business. So what is that? First biggest thing is showing up and letting people know that your doors are open. Your stories are so crucial. So if you are nervous talking in your stories, like when I did a one-on-one with Kyra, I told her, videotape yourself. Do text over your video and build that confidence. But I promise you, it's a lot less scarier, and nobody's perfect at them at all. And we all start somewhere. So the biggest to-dos in your business, first, show up, right? Talk about the products, but hear me out when we're talking about the products. It's not always talking about what it does for you. Yes, we want to like hit those key points and everything, but what does it do for you? What does it do for other people? And now this is where social proof comes in. That's where when we drop customer like feedback, share those things, but talk about it more in that pain point viewpoint. So what are pain points? Pain point is a fact of something that you experienced that had that gut-wrenching feeling that just has stuck with you throughout the years, and you never thought you would be able to overcome that pain point, and you have. So for an example, when we had our team retreat, did I ever expect that I would hike 8 miles? No, no way. Because the fact of my illness, the struggles that I face with my legs, dealing with chronic pain, dealing with numbness and tingling, dealing with, I don't even know where my legs are sometimes. And I have to look and see like, okay, they're right there. And so knowing I was able to achieve 8 miles with incredible women from our team, that is huge. I never saw myself, and I'm 32 and I was diagnosed when I was 20 years old. So that is a huge long pain point that I have dealt with within my health. That is something, an example that I've used to talk about to my audience, because you always have to remember, who is your person? Who are you talking to? Remember, we're not talking to everybody. We're talking to the person that we connect with, that we want to help. Okay. So going to organization. So if you are electronic, you can use Google Streak. There is Teamsy, which you do have to pay a monthly subscription for. I'm notebook and paper. Okay. I have a binder that I put all my stuff in, because I need to physically hold it in my hand and I need to see it. the biggest thing that one of these days when I have a bigger house is I want whiteboards. So I want big whiteboards that I can write people's name on it just because I can visually see all the time versus having to open up my notebook. So one of the sheets that every month, this is what I start with, and I really encourage you to do the same thing too, is this sheet right here. This sheet is your monthly action plan. This is where you get to put your goals. This is what you want to achieve this coming month. And don't set yourself like really small, like go really big. So for the longest time, I was putting 40K on here. And so when we went 40K, it felt unreal. So now my next goal that I'm putting on here is 80K. But with 80K, that comes with I get to help others even more within their business to build their business, helping my team more in that more leadership area than it is when you are at 4K. Because the fact is, like, you can go 4K by yourself. Is it fun? No, it's not. But is it doable? Yes, it is. That's what I did. I went 4K all by myself, and I pretty much kept it that way until I started taking that step forward into the business side. So with that, I always put down 3 people that I want to really link arms with every single month and help them grow. So if that's how I started out, I did that with my customers that I was having a conversation back all the time. And eventually they became a glorified customer. So promoter side, but not really working the business side whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's still someone eventually they might want to promote. So the biggest thing I will tell you, do not count anybody out ever, because you don't know what somebody else is going through or what they can do. I will tell you, growing up, and this is something that I did not realize until I got into this business, was I had a very limiting belief when it came to money. And why I say that is because since I was a little girl, my family, which my parents gave us the world, I had an amazing childhood, but I saw my family struggle paycheck to paycheck. I saw every time when my dad would do bills, like we would run because we knew my dad would get super stressed out. And so when it came to money, was always fear-based. So when I got married when I was 20 years old, of course, in your 20s, you go through the craziness of life and marriage and kids and all the things. But I can promise you that you can heal that side if you're like me. That has never had a great relationship with money. And so why I'm saying this to you is because don't put how you see money onto somebody else, because you never know what they can do. So I want you to become very intentional with your monthly plan. So this is not only for your business, but it is for yourself as well. On our social media, we are More Than Thrive. And this is where this comes in. So what are your health goals for the month? What are habits that you want to start doing? What do you want to start showcasing more? What are the things that you want to start talking about? Because I will tell you, when you start talking about things that are outside of Thrive and sharing the love for that, it's going to help your audience feel a little bit more less intimidated when they want to ask you questions about Thrive. Okay. So if you are constantly sharing about Thrive, if that's the only thing that you share about, I want you to flip it. I want you to still keep doing those things, but I need you to share more of you. Who are you? Why should somebody care about what you're talking about? And when it comes to the products, you need to start talking about things why people should care about their health. And for me, especially someone so young, when I was diagnosed with a chronic illness, I didn't see anything. I felt like I was invisible. I was 20 years old. How could I ever get sick? How could I have a life-changing diagnosis when I was 20 years old? Well, it happened. And it happened also that I found out I was pregnant too at the same time. So sharing those aha moments are really important, and never dismiss them, because you never know how it's going to touch someone else's life, especially you never know when they need it. So we're going to move on a little bit to the day-to-days. So your day-to-day, what you do, and this is how I kind of got my little aha moment today, is because if you don't know, I work at a sheriff's department. So our deputies, every single day, they have to fill out a daily log sheet. And basically what this daily log sheet is it pretty much shows what they're doing from when they start shift to every stop, to every area where they're going to, how long they were, what their mileage is, their call-ins, all of it's on this daily log. And it gave me an idea of that's exactly kind of like what we do. And so it reminded me of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to tell you how I use this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I changed up a few things, because when I think we were at the team retreat and we were kind of talking about connecting and talking with people. I didn't realize that I was doing this, but we're at the very top up here, it says reach out. Now I'm already reaching out to people from my stories of how I'm sharing, what I'm talking about, letting them into my life. Okay. I do not go out and talk to people like, hey, you want to try Thrive? That's not what we do here. When it comes to reach out to people, it's making that connection. Maybe you watch their stories, you're like, oh my gosh, I love your shirt. Where'd you get it? You can have that as a reach out. Okay. But when I have these reach outs, these are a little bit more getting more in-depth conversation with my customers and my potentials. So that's what I use that area for, because I want them to know they're more than a sale, because my mindset is not a transactional. Mine's a transformational. And I want to help someone. If I have it in my hand, I want to share it. But if I'm not talking about it, and if I'm not asking them, then it's a disservice that I'm doing for them. So, and it could be like the most simplest things too. So when I'm like, say I'm talking to a customer and trying the 3 steps, whatnot, I'm asking questions for them to really start thinking about what the 3 steps are really doing for them, versus how are you feeling? Well, that's very vague, right? So I go a little bit more into detail. I ask them, what is the biggest thing with your energy that you have been able to do then before that you didn't have Thrive? And I want them to think about, okay, what has really changed with Thrive since I've been taking it? Like I've told you, it's helped with my energy, but I'm making them see the bigger picture, because I'm leading the question for them to understand a little bit more clear what the 3 steps are doing. Because I will tell you this, is people will become, you know how like when you are a day-to-day, if you're very knowledgeable about something, you don't think of those steps that you do. It's so it just happens and you don't really think about it subconsciously, right? So we want to shine more of that light onto it. So when it comes to follow-ups, this is what I will tell you. So I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. So when it comes to follow-ups, I am following up with my customers. Okay, so it's June. Okay, so I'm going to follow up with all my customers who have ordered in May, April, and March. So I will go back 3 months. Okay, now I'm not forgetting about my earlier people, but my main focus are these 3 people, because guess what? Sometimes people fall off, right? But the beginning, the 15th to the 1st. So the 1st to the 15th, this is what I do. I will stay connected. I will get connected with these people. I will also go with my sample customers. I have a lot of samples people who love the 3 steps, but they just can't do it right now. I'm not saying, okay, forget you, you're not buying it right now, whatnot. I'm still there for them. And I'm still connecting with them, checking in with them, kind of seeing if they're ready to thrive yet. And I always offer them, hey, this month right now, I have 40 off to help you get started. And can I help you get started this month? And I leave it as that. I keep it very simple. I cannot tell you, and I'm going to tell you this because we all go through it. We complicate it in the very beginning. When it came to follow-ups, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? Do I need to connect with them first? Do I need to like their posts and their stories before I ask them? No, get into their DM and ask them. That's it. Just ask them. Because I will tell you, when I watch other stories and people are talking about like a sale, okay, I can tell that it's very transactional, the way that they're talking. Your tone of voice plays such a big role on the way that you are talking with your people. So like I say, every morning I go onto my stories and I audit myself. I take notes of what my voice is, what words I'm using, because that is where the connection begins. Okay. It's not with, oh, I got this bomb ass sale right here. You need this. No, it doesn't start there. It starts with, how are you helping them? What is it going to do for them? Did you share a story? Did you do a live with a side sister and talked about life before Thrive with them? What did they struggle with? Now they're thriving. What has changed? And how long they've been thriving. So sharing that social proof is so important. And of course, my potentials, doesn't matter how many there is, I follow up with them every month. And it kind of just depends each day. Yeah, go ahead, bud. And it changes every single day. Okay. So that's my follow-ups. I keep it very simple. I don't complicate it anymore. And I will tell you, the stress of it dissipates, and I'm more connected with my customers and my potentials more, and they're not slipping through the cracks like they used to. Now, I will show you in my notebook, I will write, like this is my new one. I started a new book because my other one got ruined. I have my samples. Now, these lines right here, these are pending. I have to write their names. But I have 10 a month. That's my goal. Mine's 10. Once I hit 10, awesome. Do I do more than that? Yeah, sure, why not? But my goal's 10. So my biggest like encouragement to you is set a goal. Set a goal. When I started, mine was 5. That was it. And I got more confident with it. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to double it. And I've just been sticking with 10 because with the craziness my life is, 10 is doable. So that's what I focus on. You have to take recognition of what you go through your day to day and make things more achievable, and not stacking a to-do list on your stuff every single day, because 1, that's going to overwhelm you, and 2, you're not going to get it done at all. You're not going to. So going into okay, where are we at? Okay, this is another one that you can do. I always have it on my desk area. I was going to pin it on my wall, but I talked myself out of it. But this is a part of the workbook too. So this is just from your personal growth, your back office, your connections to lifestyle content. So this is just accountability. And the biggest thing, accountability is key. So being in the team chats, being involved in the team chats, putting stuff out there. Like, you do not need to be at any special rank in order for you to share something. Like, we're all leaders here. Rank does not matter whatsoever. I will keep saying that, and every leader will keep saying that too, because everybody is a leader. But you can grow more and farther as a leader, and how that starts is you stepping more into that role. And that could be from things, reminders of things that are happening, dropping graphics that you've created, sharing tips that you came across that you discovered. There's no such thing as something stupid. Okay. It doesn't exist within our team whatsoever. So having the questions, ask the questions, be productive, take that initiative of wanting to learn something. When I very first started, and I still do this, I just don't really talk about it much, but in a week, like I look at things at a weekly basis. I don't look at the full month. I look at a week. And within a week, however that week went before, I will want to learn something new. So if you're starting and you're trying to figure out how to navigate, how to do certain things, whatnot, maybe you struggle at making graphics, I would find people that inspire you and see how they're doing things, right? Kind of be that student in the seat, right? But I don't want you to be there for long, okay? Because when you're there too long, nothing goes anywhere. So I want you to take initiative, download Canva. Okay, I use Canva for everything. That's all I use. I used to use the other half. I don't use them anymore. But I want you to start creating those things. Get more knowledgeable about the technology that you're using. Get more knowledgeable about the social media platform that you're using. And try one thing out. Maybe you've never done a live before. I challenge you to do a live and do a live every single week for the rest of this month. And, it doesn't have to be about Thrive. Okay. It can be about anything. Maybe you're making dinner and want to share the recipe. Maybe you're doing your makeup and you just want to chit chat about things that you've been dealing with. It can be anything. And this is a way that your audience can get to know you more. So with these things, why I'm talking about organization, it's simple as this. That's it. It doesn't need to be more complicated. It doesn't need to be this fancy Excel sheet and this breakdown, this beautiful. No, it doesn't need to be. No. And it can be anything that you want. But I will tell you, if you need a little bit more guidance and structure because you don't know what to talk about each day, you don't want to be repetitive, all the things, there's already a breakdown. So this is an example, and you can start making this into your own, but this can be a template for you. So like on Mondays, they have on here, Remember When Monday, Mindset Monday, Bobie Monday, Tuesday Tip Tuesday, Wednesday Wellness Wednesday, Winning Wednesday, Thursday Throwback Thursday, Friday. It could be Flex Friday, Show Your DFT, Freebie Friday, sampling, right? Anything. Saturday, Sunday, I like to use for lifestyle. I don't like to focus so much on Thrive because I want people to see more about what goes on behind the scenes, day-to-day life, what we're up to, all the things. But I really focus throughout the week, through the days of the week, where I really focus more sharing about the business, talking about the products, but also sharing about my life at the same time. But that's it. That is literally it. So if you have been complicating it, not sure what to do, get these printed off. Okay. Get yourself a little binder. Okay. And I actually put like pictures, inspiration, my goals, my dream board, in the binder. And every day I have it on my computer. When I get home from work, I get to sit down and I dedicate 1 hour and then I'm done for the day. That's it. I set timers and I am more in tune with how I'm using my time and what's working and what's not working. And the biggest thing I would tell you, be willing to try something that you've never tried before. Because sometimes when we kind of limit ourselves and we're like, no, there's no way that I can do that. Well, then there's no way that you're going to do that because you're telling yourself, I can't do that. And versus telling yourself, you know what, I'm going to try this. I'm going to give it everything that I got with what I have right now, and I'm going to see how it goes. And I promise you, you're going to see that ripple effect of that strength and that confidence that's going to boost within you. So we are, what was the other one? Okay, how to make your goals achievable. In the chat, I really want to, I want to hear something when it comes to your goals. What is something that you struggle with? Figuring it out. How to make a plan. Like, what is something that you're not sure how to make a plan for it? Or when it comes to your goals, what's something that you find when you're going after a goal that it's like a roadblock that you're coming upon? It could be time, family, work, whatever. It could be anything. Okay, so Casey definitely hit it right on the nail because I was waiting for someone to type that. Is overthinking it. I feel like overthinking it is the key thing, plus fear ruining goals. So remember how I was talking about making things more achievable? Not putting so many to-do lists on your list and every single day, because one, what does it do? It makes you overwhelmed and it makes you start overthinking things, and then you shut down, then you don't do anything at all. So when it comes to a goal, and especially because I'm going to use the the trip so as an example. Okay, so in the chat, because I really want to see who's I don't want to say paying attention, but who knows what's the rank that you have to be in order to be able to earn this. What's the rank? What is the tracker? Oh gosh, my leg's asleep. So my okay, so it's 4K, right? 4K. That's it. 4K. Like I said, you can go 4K on your own. Do you want to do that? Well, you can, but it's a lot more fun when you get to do it with others, right? And helping others achieve to go 4K too. So it's 4K. The first time that they did 4K was when we went to Riviera Maya. It was amazing. There were more 4Ks there than any other rank. And I thought that was pretty awesome. So with 4K, what do we, okay, so 4Ks, we need what in volume? 4,000 in team volume, right? And we have an entire month to achieve that, right? And a total, Kyra already did it, 25 auto ships. 25. That's so small. It might feel like it's really big, but I promise you it's not. An auto ship can count as one product. Okay? One. It doesn't have to be the 3 steps. It doesn't have to be this big old bundle of stuff. It could be one single product. Okay? And then, of course, the 1,000 PPA. Now, if you don't know what PPA is, it means new people that you're helping. Okay? New people. And I will tell you, when I saw the 1,000, I about fell out of my chair because that is the lowest that I have ever seen it. The lowest. And where they have the airfare being included with it as well, and adding what is it, another 1,000, so it starts at 2,000. That's so doable in 3 months, and we're only at the 12th. Okay, this month is still young. Okay, so I want you to think about how can, okay, in the chat, how can you, what is a task, a to do, a must IPA that you should be doing every single day? What do you think it is? What is one of those things? Anybody want to be brave enough? I promise I won't bite. Just one. The biggest, your stories. Of course, your stories, because how are people going to know what you're doing? How do people know what you have when you're not showing your face, talking, showcasing what you have? Being consistent every single day, okay? And I feel that it can feel overwhelming showing up on your social media every day, but I promise you it doesn't have to be. I want you to think about, this is what I get to do. I get to do this, and I get to help somebody within their life, and I get to help somebody get their energy back. I get to help somebody, shed that weight that they've been struggling with, because staying consistent on that restricted diet has really done a lot more harm than good for her, right? So think about the things that you get to do instead of the things that you have to do. All right. So biggest thing, posting, right? The other thing is, I will tell you, share other people's stories. Talk about other people's stories. Share stuff from their social media page, and not just share it on your stories, but you can post it and then come back and start talking about it, and have that being relatable, and sharing, maybe that person, and you kind of know things that she struggled with, right? Be a little bit more in tune with that person you're talking to, and that starts with them hearing your voice and seeing your facial expressions. The biggest thing. Now, I'm not saying that everything has to be done on social media. You can do things in person, right? And I feel like when it comes to person, it goes a lot more quicker than it is with on social media, right? So be brave. Okay, hold on, guys. Can you hear my kids? Okay, good. Because they're crazy right now. Okay, good. So being consistent, talking on your stories, posting. Okay, when it comes to posting, it's up to you. All right. Make a goal, make a weekly goal. All right. Maybe do it 3 to 4 times a week. But I will tell you, posts are doing really well, I've noticed. But still, with reels is growth. Like, it's reaching more people, and really finding those people that you connect with. I did a team call with my team last week, and I shared some tips with them when it came to social media and things like this. And I will tell you, which I'm sure you may have heard. Okay, I've talked about it in the past, but I'm sure you've seen it on like Instagram. I'm mainly on Instagram. Me and Facebook, we're becoming friends. I'm kind of getting used to things over there. I struggle with social media too, but Instagram, it's searchable. So you can go into the search bar and you can type in healthy recipes, and it's going to populate accounts to post. So be smart. You can, in your captions, when you're typing like about what you're talking about, whatnot, use keywords in there. Okay. So if you're talking about the elite line, make sure you're talking about weight loss, a higher weight management. More than likely people will be using weight loss when they're searching for weight loss. So using words weight loss, more energy, even connecting, like if you are a mom or you have a crazy busy life, go look for those words. You do have to do research. You do have to do some digging on social media, what your people are looking for. What are they searching? Because if you're not going to be able to reach your people. Get connections by posting things that are relatable to that person. Of course, I'm not saying lifestyle, because we still need lifestyle, right? But at the same time, with the whole trip, share about that, talk about it, show them, where well, okay, we don't know where we're going, but a little backstory what you can kind of share about. So last getaway, it was a mystery getaway too. We didn't know where we were going, and we ended up in Riviera Maya. Now, how everything is, especially how the PPA is, a lot of people think it's going to be somewhere here in the States. So I don't know. So especially since the leadership is headed to Cabo. So it'll be interesting, but talk about it. Talk about the like auto bonuses, but the biggest thing I would really hint on is the free product. Talk about how we earn our products for free. Talk about when you share your credits with someone. Talk about how you love the fact that you can earn your products for free here, and how you can do it. Basically helping 2 people, and boom, you get your products for free, right? and make it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overshare. Meaning overshare, I mean word vomiting. Okay. I mean, to the point, the information that they need to hear. So if they do want to hear more details, that's where the DM come in. That's where you can have that conversation with them. But keeping things stupid simple. That's basically what I say all the time. Keep things stupid simple. The more you complicate it, the more that it's not going to go in the direction that you want it to go. Show your personality. Show those perks and quirkiness about you. Do you like the biggest thing that surprised all of us was Kyra and her oh my gosh, crocheting, knitting, whatever it is. It's amazing. And she taught herself. Right? Like that's huge. Like who that is I just have to say a talent that you can't, a lot of majority of people can't teach themselves, especially let alone making dolls and all these animals. And it's a lot. It's impressive, right? So whatever that is, maybe you're obsessed with makeup. Maybe you're obsessed with art. Maybe you're obsessed with, I don't know, tossing horseshoes. I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe you're really good at it. But whatever it is, show your audience, okay? Because if you're not doing those things and you're just talking about Thrive, you're talking to no one. And I just want you to start thinking about how you can impact someone else's life. There will always be ups and downs in this business, but when you feel like you're going through a down, that's when how do I say this? That's when you need to be more open to what the lessons being taught to you. That's where I pretty much dig deep and I step way more out of my comfort zone and way further out as a leader, and really taking that self-reflection of how can I help someone on my team flourish? How can I help someone else within their business move their needle forward? Because the thing is, it's still moving my needle, but it might not be moving my needle where I feel like it needs to be moving. But the one thing that I found when I start having that servant heart for my team, my needle starts to grow pretty big. I don't know when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but I've been here since October of 2021. And I will tell you, it has surprised me every single month. And I can't tell you how many times I've had my downs and ups. And that's just a part about business. And it's a part of, why are you here? What are the things that you want this business to help with? What are the things that you want to be able to see that this business had a hand in? Talk about those things. Talk about your goals. Talk about where you want to see yourself in the future. Don't let somebody else's self-limiting belief have an effect on you. And as someone that has dealt with a lot of people pleasing my whole entire life, I can tell you that you are strong enough to step into that role that what's best for you, what you want to see happen within your life, because no one's going to do it for you. And I will tell you this, don't wait. Okay, I got to share this with you guys, and I forgot to drop it in the team chat, but it says you cannot wait for life not to be hard anymore before you decide to be happy. We all go through hards. We all go through tough times. And in those moments is when you need to keep moving forward, because in our hardest moments is when that biggest blessing happens. But when you cower down and you let that overthinking and that self-limiting belief take over you, you're not going to go anywhere, and you're going to stay there, and you will go back into your comfort, and you will be in a place that you don't want to be, right? So that's why I always say, stay linked in the team chat, ask the questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to anybody asking how they did something, whatnot. If you have messaged me on Instagram, I just realized that my DMs just populated and I have all these messages. So if you have messaged me, I'm really sorry. It was really wonky over the weekend. Well, it started Thursday night. So I think it's finally back. So I'm going through everything. If you guys don't know, I'm pretty much single parenting it for a month and a half. So I'm kind of all over the place right now. So kind of just bear with me if you did message me. I will get back to you, I promise. But other than that, if you guys have questions, whatnot, you can drop them in the chat. But I just have to just say to you is this whole getaway is so achievable. It really is. But it starts with you. It starts with your everyday, what you're doing, what you're talking about, and how you're making those connections. And your connections all start in your stories. That's where they start. It starts in your posts, it starts in your reels before you even make a connection with someone. Because in reality, you already are making those connections with your people. So if that is it, okay, I'm going to take a boomy because I have not got a boomerang. So everyone smile so I can get everybody. My phone's just taking forever. Okay. All right. Hey, smile. All right. Well, thank you guys. I love you guys. I'm so excited for this month. It's going to be a great month. Also, don't be afraid. Like I said, don't be afraid to talk about samples. Okay. Even if you didn't get the 4, who cares? Right? Who cares? Pretty cool, right? But at the same time, you can still talk about it and be like, hey, I got a sample for you. Do you want it? Right? So make it stupid simple. But anyways, love you guys. And don't forget at 7 is Sunday Huddle with Lucy. Lucy, this call is going to be awesome. So if you can hop on, I strongly encourage you to hop on because I have a feeling it's going to be really good. So anyways, bye guys.